Ante tu sapere. Can you read it? I can't. I even made the language and I have no idea what it says. Wonderful. But these are numbers. Yes, these are numbers. And speaking of languages, and speaking of, well, more than just numbers, but I really like that number. See how it's just so sexy, yes. But that is number, guys. Yes, that's a 5. I at least know that. Well, anyways, speaking of all this wonderful, words, vocal inflections, how do you, as an individual, find how you perceive the world to affect how you articulate your words? How do you find yourself articulating because how you see the world? I will explain how I do it. Well, for me, except for now, because I am perceiving the world in a whole new fashion, which is far more entertaining for myself. Because of how I actually talk, I normally kind of talk like this, very monotone, because I more am focusing on the information. Whenever I feel an emotional response, I actually suppress it. Did you catch me? Suppress it. So that I may speak with no change of emotion, because if I have emotion, then my mind explodes and it doesn't know how to think anymore. It doesn't know how to process. And so I always try to speak monotone for whatever reason, because I am focusing on the information that I am expounding or exploding or whatever, expressing to the other individual. Isn't that strange? I will actually force the airways to go through my throat because I have more control. Isn't that interesting? But I find other INTPs or other individuals that are more focused on the information may speak a little bit more in the throat because it is far more controlling. That was a little exaggerated, but you get the point. I spit all over my computer. I scared my dog. But that's okay. And then other people that I find that are a little bit more relational, they kind of talk a little bit more nasally, and they just have this way about them. They can just talk all over the place. But it's because it is far more about relationships, and they can articulate and flex better rather than having the monotone. They do not fear emotional, I almost said a weird word, emotional intercourse. Why did I say it that way? Well, it's because it's just this infestation. That's what it feels like for an INTP, and that's why we cannot communicate very well when we have all this emotion and we can't figure out, how in the world do I communicate this? I must focus on the information. So, my question goes back to you, listener, watcher, and viewer of the internet. How does your perception of the world and how you view other people and what you value when you communicate affect how you use your vocal cords, how you fluctuate your sound thing? Because that's scientific. Because we're full of science around here, aren't we? Well, I will see you guys in another video or another life. You know.